Okay, guys. So today, remember yesterday you colored that periodic table. If you didn't turn it in yet, make sure you turn it in the box if you didn't turn it in yesterday. Today, you may or may not finish it within the time that we have the assignment that I am giving you. But I'm going to tell you how far you need to get, and then we'll just bring it back tomorrow and Friday and finish the rest of it. So you're going to pick up all the materials that you need or over, like I'm going to be pointing the wrong way. I don't know, over in the lab area on the counter. So please make sure you pick them up. There's a sign above it that says for period 3. There's another sign that says for period 4. You're not in period 4, so make sure that you do the right one. It's a packet, and then you need a pair of scissors so you can cut stuff out, and some glue or tape. You may need a plastic bag too, but you can wait and get that at the end. It would just be to put your extra pieces in so that you're not juggling extra pieces around. So this packet has all the instructions in it. The packet is, and I just have my screen up here so that I can show you what's going on. I should probably make this larger. Anyways, the first page is the instruction page. It's important that there is a little list at the very bottom on the back of that page that has extra important things to talk about. So you want to make sure you don't skip over that. And then there are 2 pages that go along with it. Let's turn it upside down. The first page, and you probably just want to tear these last 2 pages off of the front page. Okay. The last 2 pages, the one it looks like a periodic table, but not quite a periodic table. This is what you're going to be churning in. You will have pasted a bunch of things on it. You'll have filled a bunch of things in, and then on the back side, you'll be answering the post-lab questions. So the other sheet has a lot of stuff filled in on it. You're going to cut out all of the squares that have something on it. This little row of squares down here at the bottom, you don't need to do anything with. But all the rest of them you cut out. You may even want to just have this handy because this tells what you need to do, what the key is, and what everything is on the little boxes. Notice that on this, not all of the boxes, there are little lines with blanks. All of the blanks that are on all of these little squares need to be filled out by the time you're totally done with this. You may use your large periodic table. It does say in the instructions on the back of the first page that we tore off that you can use your big periodic table. What you need to understand, though, about your big periodic table is units are different than what they are on here. So your basic conversions back and forth are not even basic conversions because the point of this is not to do conversions. But you want to see trends in the numbers rather than the actual numbers matching up because they're not going to match. So what you want to do whenever you are completing this blank periodic table, when you're trying to figure out where they're at, the first thing you need to understand is this doesn't look like the traditional periodic table because this little periodic table is, let me move me out of the way. All right, so, okay. This part of the periodic table, what you see here on your paper is just this section. It is this, the S block, what we talked about is the S block, and then this whole section over here, the P block. And then none of this is included. So you're not going to have any elements that are anywhere in here, and you're not going to have any lanthanides or actinides. And then what it's done is it's squished those 2 sections I just boxed, and it squishes them together, and that's what we have here. We have it minus the D block and the F block. So this is just the main group elements, the S block and the P block, and it's just squished together then. What you're doing with this paper is you're taking and trying to figure out where all of these random boxes that have different pieces of information fit on this periodic table. Then you're going to glue them on. Please do not glue anything on until you have it all laid out and you know where everything goes, because you end up gluing something down and then having to tear it back up. The hints are in what's called the procedure. This procedure gives you explanations as to where everything goes. So things you don't want to skip over would be like number 2. The following sets of elements belong together in groups. So Z, R, and D belong together in the same group. They are in the same family together. So put them all in a pile and know that they're all going to be in the same family. They don't go in that order, top to bottom, but they all belong in the same family together. So then you'll notice P, S, I, and F. There are 4 in that one. So what you need to understand is because there's 4 in that one, more than likely that family is either going to be the elements over here or the elements over here because you have that extra element, helium and hydrogen. Okay? Because what you'll notice as you read through, I skipped number 1, don't skip anything, is that on this blank periodic table, you're going to work on rows 1 through 4 first with all of the elements that don't have the asterisk in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 minus the 2 rows at the bottom. I hope I'm in the center of the screen here. Minus the 2 rows at the bottom. Just ignore those for now and take all of the little pieces that you have that have an asterisk in the center and set them aside because they're going to go in rows 5 and 6 once you're totally done. All the rest of them that actually have a letter in the center of it, they're going to go in rows 1 through 4. So work with all of those first and then go and try and fill in the ones with the asterisks. I'm skipping a lot, but this would just be the basics I would be giving you in class. This little section right here has a written explanation of some of the stuff I already talked about. So this is something that you can read ahead of time and then go back and start the procedure. What you need to have done is at least rows 1 through 4. I'd love it if you get the whole periodic table done by tomorrow. But as long as you can get the 1, 2, 3, and 4th row done and then be placing some of row 5 and 6, I'll be happy because it takes a little bit. It's like a puzzle. It's a logic puzzle type of thing, as well as trying to figure out the basics of the periodic table. Okay, good luck.